Knife Snarl card. And if you thought our one was wild, you ain't seen nothing yet. Tell 'em, Johnny.
Tell 'em. What? Oh, right. My bad. Folks, we've got 3 huge headline matches lined up for the next hour. And it's all gonna start right after intermission wraps up in a moment.
Wonder what this is about. Man, it's on now. Let's listen in as he addresses the WWE Universe.
The Mexican Monolith, sporting a casual look tonight. Let's see what this is all about.
Hey, Charlotte, how's everybody doing tonight? As you can see, I'm a little bit out of uniform, but Mr. O'Toole's been very cool with me. He gave me the night off because I've been working so hard lately. But I wanted to take a minute to thank all of you fans in RWL all over the world for backing me up the way you have. It's made this dual champion thing really fantastic. You know, sometimes I have to do a little extra to get my point across, and you guys still back me up. So you guys are very, very real, and I respect the hell out of all of you for that.
Watch out now. That's the House of Black's music. And here comes one of its ringleaders.
Looks like he's going to grace us with his presence once more. This is going to be awesome. Let's see what he has to say.
That's Magic, the Jersey All-Pro Hall of Famer. What's he doing interrupting Santos' time and during his day off?
Hey, Magic. Mr. Blessed paid for this time for me to talk. Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping you could maybe help me solve a little mystery. The mystery being why your manager, Mr. Freddie Blassie, can't return a text. Why your manager, Mr. Freddie Blassie, can't return a phone call. Why your manager, Mr. Freddie Blassie, can't return an email. Huh? Now, if you can answer any of that, maybe you can help me solve this mystery. You mean to tell me this is about a match? And you also mean to tell me you couldn't take me backstage like a man to talk about this? That's right, I did this, and I said that, and I'll tell you why. Because frankly, I think you know, I've already beaten your ass for the World Championship before. Oh, now you're saying I'm afraid of you. Are you out of your mind? You know, for a guy who's got so much respect backstage, Magic, you just clowned yourself. Oh, so now I'm clowning myself. Because you're making me stand in line. Well, it looks like I'll just have to jump to the head of it.
Oh, watch out here. Magic just teed off on the Mexican Monolith. And it is on, like Donkey Kong, Wally.
And there goes Magic, out onto the floor, Santos, right out after him. And the Warlord is fighting mad. Not sure what the deal is here. Santos and Magic playing musical chairs here. But they have caught up to one another at last. And the icon, the Sensei. Magic and the Mexican Monolith going at it. Hammer and Tong here. Santos not backing down. He is just all over Magic like green on grass.
Both out of control. We need help over here.
They're back inside. The officials, excuse trying to break this up.
Holy crap.
Demonium. Santos is hurt. He's hurt. He's hurt bad.
Who and how we'll help you get that bag.
Folks, this was the scene just a few moments ago. Magic has been ejected from the arena, and Warlord Santos is headed for the nearest hospital in the Charlotte area. More on this situation when we have it.
Tonight, our WL history will be made, and if you're a fan of the Vandal Brothers, tonight's your lucky night, but I think it would be best coming from Jay and Ace themselves. Boys.
Boy, oh boy, I couldn't be more excited. I'm more excited than a guy with an Oedipus complex on Mother's Day. Tell him, Jay. Tell him why we about to act a fool. What Ace means is, you fans are about to see one of the greatest feats of destruction the Vandal brothers have ever achieved. Tonight, we will compete in not just one, but 2 tag team matches, and we're gonna win them both. First, we're gonna play with Scott Bell's boys, the Revival, until they break and can't work no more. That's gonna be some fun, Jay. And then, a little later, after a rest break, we're gonna vandalize Zeus and the Great Kali. It's not really a flex, but show me any tag team in RWL willing to work to matches in one night. That phone will never, ever ring.
You heard it here first, people. The Vandals will compete twice, and they will win twice. I stake my very reputation on that. You're welcome. The pleasure's been all yours.
Boy Wally, this isn't. Colin O'Toole said he would be here tonight to settle the beef between Warlord Santos and Magic.
Let's see just how he plans to do it.
There's already been to violent confrontations, and the CO has seen enough.
Evening all, been some time since I've had to trot myself out here, but I'm doing it for a pair of very special people sitting at home on suspension since Saturday night at Snarl. I'm afraid both Magic and the Mexican Monolith have had to be taught that when I say no fighting outside this ring, I mean it. Now you two are a pair of top earners for this company, and while I'd prefer that you move on with your careers here, I can see to that neither of you will be satisfied until your issues are quashed. Fine, you want an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, do you? Then you can both fight till you're blind and toothless in a Hell in a Cell match at Black Friday, Thanksgiving week. And while we're about it, let's make it for the RWL World Heavyweight title, just to make it interesting. I do this for 2 reasons. One, Mr. Santos, you are due to defend that belt anyhow, and as for you, Magic, you're the one started this mess in the first place, and may you learn a valuable lesson here, because I don't see you beaten, no. Pissed off giant, thank you all for your time and attention, and good night.
Well now, a Hell in a Cell match for the world title between Santos and Magic. Hell of a coarse way to settle their differences, isn't it? Kind of. Death penalty for a parking violation.
No, Johnny. He thinks he's throwing Magic under the bus. In any case, the CO has spoken, and we gotta move on now.
Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping you could maybe help me solve a little mystery. The mystery being why your manager, Mr. Freddie Blassie, can't return a text. Why your manager, Mr. Freddie Blassie, can't return a phone call. Why your manager, Mr. Freddie Blassie, can't return an email. Huh? Now, if you can answer any of that, maybe you can help me solve this mystery. Are you out of your mind? You know, for a guy who's got so much respect backstage, Magic, you just clowned yourself.
Oh, watch out here. We need help over here.
Back inside. The officials, excuse trying to break this off.
Holy crap.
Demonium.
Magic has been ejected from the arena, and Warlord Santos is headed for the nearest hospital.
He didn't plan for this. Clubbing blow to the back. Turned that one around. Great job refocusing to reverse that.
Pushed, fine, you want an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, do you? Then you can both fight till you're blind and toothless in a Hell in a Cell match at Black Friday, Thanksgiving week. And while we're about it, let's make it for the RWL World Heavyweight title, just to make it interesting. And as for you, Magic, you're the one started this mess in the first place, and may you learn a valuable lesson here, because I don't see you beaten, no. Pissed off giant.
Not the position you want to be in right now. Down on the wing. The champ shoulders are down.
themselves one hell of a year so far, and now, again, stunning just about everyone, especially Crystal Fox Limited, with this odds-defying win.
And here's another quick look at those superstars in action in that tag team battle.
And that's in addition to their respective singles championships. These gals are gonna need wheelbarrows to tote their belts around pretty soon.
Okay, before we even get started here, Danielle and I want to thank all the RWL fans for backing us, believing in us.
I'm still kind of in shock, actually. What a night we had yesterday. It's like a dream, isn't it? Actually, the last couple of months has been that way for Patty and me, but last night? Becoming dual champions? It's a lot to process for me.
We really are grateful to all the fans. You all believed in us, despite our being the new gals around here. It means a lot to us.
It really does.
So well, now the question is, of course, what's the future look like for American Powers? Where do we go from here?
If you're asking me, Patty, I say we should be fighting champions. Accepting whatever challenges might get thrown at us in the future.
That works for me. See, you fans have a lot to do with our success, and we don't want to disappoint any of you.
I'm sure they want to see a rematch with us and Crystal Fox Limited. So, what do you think about it, Patty? Do we sign for it? I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't really want to, but this is about what these fans want, way more than what we want.
Hey, there's just one downside to being at the top, and that's everyone else wanting to jump in your spot, but that's this business.
I understand that now.
For right now, Danielle and I are going to take a few days to recuperate and celebrate. I don't think anyone would mind.
Sounds great. One more time, before we get out of here, I just want to thank everyone. The fans, Mr. O'Toole, and most of all, you, Patty, for choosing me as your partner. And you fans, don't worry. We won't be letting you down. That's a promise from both of us.
There you have it, straight from the source, the Women's Gulf Coast Champ, the Joyce Grable Memorial Champion, and now the Women's World Tag Champions. Seem to make a great first impression here. Tonight on Snarl, and man, I bet they're thrilled to not be working tonight.
They've earned a short rest after these last few weeks.
Just a little over a week left before it expires. We're gonna learn for sure what Danielle intends to do with it.
Good evening, fans. Just wanted to take a second to thank Patty for that briefcase. I'm asking for a Women's International Championship match with Crystal Gabor, and I'd like to do it at the Memphis Million next week. So, I'll be in touch very soon.
Oh, Nelly, she didn't waste any time.
Hey, Crystal, got a minute? I'm kind of hoping that you and I can give the fans a match they won't forget. A title match between us would be epic. I hope we bring the house down.
You just screwed up, Large. Watch your back, Heath Coach. That's all.
But fact is, if we do this, it's gonna get us into trouble with O'Toole. I don't think this is the best way to handle your Danielle problems.
Yeah, well, if you got a better idea.
Actually, yes, I do.
So, you want to give them a show at Memphis Million. Y'all want to be a Triple Crown champ at my expense. Y'all want to bring the house down, do you? So let me ask you, ever had your head bounced off an announce table? Ever been whacked in the back of the skull with a steel chair? Well, I have. And if you want to take the international belt from me, it's not gonna come cheap. I'm asking for a no-rules match.
And she's given me till Monday to make up my mind. I really want that title, but a no-rules match. I've never been in one.
But you're gonna have tough matches here, whether you want them or not. If it were me, I'd go for it.
So I've made up my mind. I'll be in Memphis Friday for our 2 out of 3 falls no-rules title match, because I do want to bring the house down. And Crystal, you had damn better show up. I'll see you Friday night in Memphis. Honey.
And so Liberty Bell Danielle not only sees Crystal's no rules match, but raises the stakes again to a 2 out of 3 fall match. I'm stunned by this wicked little turn. I still can't believe that Playboy Gary Hart's come back so suddenly, and so quickly following his term of suspension. And get this, on the same day that the man who suspended him, acting RWL, Chairman Colin O'Toole, is about to deliver his State of the League address, or rather, we're about to watch the chairman's pre-recorded message here in just a moment.
Good evening and a very happy 2020 for to you all. I'm very pleased to announce that our WL has had the best year-to-year improvement in a mighty long time. Since this channel went online 5 years ago, there's over 5,800 videos airing to 560 subscribers all over the world. I want you all to know personally from me that our WL appreciates your support and that we could never have done it without you. Right, so now it's on to matters of business. It's the old tradition of out with the old and in with the new, and I've been mighty busy signing off on both new contracts and pink slips. A lot of our in-ring talent has in fact been let go for a number of reasons, but as always round here, the door is always open for some to return if they want it. A word about our major weekly programs. Snarl has been every Saturday night for a long, long time, and while I did have hopes that Monday Rage would do well as a weekly, I had no clue how fast it would take on a life of its own. That's a lot for me to juggle as chairman, and so I'm appointing a new general manager, one for Snarl and another for Rage. Now, for you smarmy little basement dwelling, soap dodging haters out there, let me be clear, this isn't a brand split. Everyone's free to go between shows anytime, but if you've got a title that belongs to a show like the Snarl television title, you'll be expected to defend it there and there alone. So, who's to be the new GMs? Well, for Snarl, I've offered the spot to American Supreme Matt Clark, who's looking at semi-retirement, and Rage. I couldn't give it to nobody but Steve Groves, or better known to y'all as Mr. Hercules. General managers will control in-ring talent, on-the-fly matchmaking, and conduct control. That's leading to all you managers who should quit counting your money long enough to hear this. I've never minded you people negotiating your deals off your clients' backs, but what you won't be doing is taking a giant dump on the rule book. These men have my authority to act on their own initiative in these matters, so FFO, as the kids say. Now, I'd be remiss were I to not offer my congratulations to our Memphis Million Stars who brought down the Mid-South Coliseum Friday night. First off, Danielle Heathcote for becoming our very first Women's Triple Crown champion. Lady, you and Paddy Powers both have earned your stripes round here. And Crystal, you may not have the international title anymore, but you performed exceptional at our greatest supercard, and I congratulate you both. And congratulations also to both Angie Angel Guns and Warlord Santos on a pair of epic Memphis Million Battle Royal victories. Kindly remember to not spend it all in one place and save those contract briefcases for a rainy day, as one never knows when such things might be needful. You all made the 10th Memphis Million a high water mark in what we do here. Thank you all for your time and attention. Please enjoy the rest of the show. We'll hear from Mr. Hurt, the GM, Saturday night. Goodbye.
All right, well, there you have it. All the important issues surrounding our WL addressed by Colin O'Toole. And how about this new thing with general managers for both Snarl and Rage? With Matt Clark and Mr. Hurt wielding executive power over their respective shows. But it was nice to hear that the two brand aren't splitting up talent, as that probably wouldn't sit well with the locker rooms. More on that story as it writes itself.
years ago, I made a promise to Matt Clark that I would be there the day that Psychotic Redneck had his last match, because I wanted to see it. Maybe even have a hand in it. To help write the epitaph on the gravestone of his career. Well, kids. Christmas came a little late to Casabel, but it came, just the same. See, American Supreme is no more. When the hero of the Short Bus Kids lost the World Heavyweight Championship after 6 insufferable years to my old friend the traitor Warlord Santos, that whole American Supreme thing? That came to an end. Matt Clark is no American hero. He's a product. He's a corporate construct. He's those idiots you see at tax time, in their stupid Statue of Liberty costumes. And when Santos beat Supreme? All that hype was gone. So what's a former washed-up world champion to do?
Matt Clark, do you remember me? 'Cause I remember you most protected champion in RWL history. More coverage, more protection than the President of the United States, yeah. But that's all gone now, Matt. It's just you and me on the last gunfight, on your way to Boot Hill, yeah.
If you caught our WL Championship Wrestling earlier this week, you heard from the 2023 Manager of the Year, Sylvia Strong.
Hey, guys, how they hangin' tonight? Listen, Wally, sorry I got a little too ballsy on your show the other night. Pittsburgh's my hometown and I guess I was feeling a little, piss and vinegar. Anyway, tonight is a super special night all around, because not only will we see the new Snarl GM, American Supreme Matt Clark, and hey, I apologize to all them people I talked shit about too. First, amigos, you'll see just one of our two new tag teams in action, against Dr. D. David Schultz and Dr. Death Steve Williams. And then, in tonight's main event, the Wild Samoans will join forces with Zeus and the Great Khali, as they square off with the Insiders and the Originals in an 8-man tag main event. And Miss Sylvie is here to tell ya, we're gonna piss her pants when you see who's new to the stronghold.
Everyone knows Sylvie is as bad as her word, so we all look forward to seeing what unfolds in the second hour tonight.
Meanwhile, business has just picked up at intermission, guys. And would you just have a look at American Supreme? He looks like he should be driving in NASCAR with that getup.
But hey, the one thing Matt Clark does look is happy. Look at him, just beaming.
Well, let's hear it from the new general manager.
All right. Hello again, Philly. It's always great when we visit Philadelphia. You guys. And yeah, I've been around. But I really miss the fans, and I wanted you all to know that. It's been for whole months since I lost the World Heavyweight Championship to the Great Khali at Sweet Revenge for. I don't know why the internet morons insist I lost to Warlord Santos. Maybe to spare my feelings. Thanks a lot, by the way, you folks, for the way you all stood up for me. I thought the not my champion signs were a nice touch. And yes, losing the belt sent me into this wild identity crisis. Because who was American Supreme without the title? Sadly, just another one of the boys, at least. That's how I had been feeling. But Colin offered me this post as general manager of Snarl. Now, I admit I was skeptical at first. But now that I've tried it on for just a few days, guys, this job is my Red Ryder Christmas be begun right here. And just look at all the neat stuff they gave me. Colin says I can wear this stuff on days when I don't feel like sporting a suit. And the jacket, man, this jacket, leather and satin, with the Snarl logo, and burn it down, right on the back, and warm. I can't even begin to describe the exquisite comfort this outer garment provides. And then, Colin says I can do whatever I want, with full powers of the chairman himself. Ho-oh people, it's just the best. Again, I was skeptical, so I asked him, you mean anything I want? He said try it. And can you believe it? We've got Vince McMahon starting as a manager in Legends Division next week. No, I'm kidding. I didn't do that. That was Colin. So, now, I guess with the new year and all, everyone wants to know how this thing with me in charge is gonna go. For starters, there's really only one hard and fast rule, which says the Snarl Television and Snarl Tag Team titles have to be defended exclusively on this show. That doesn't mean title holders can't compete on Rage or anything. Just that those titles are defended here and nowhere else. Beyond that, if someone wants a match on the fly, I'm the guy you gotta talk it over with. That's pretty cut and dried too. Now, Colin's expressed some concerns about potential disciplinary problems, so let me address that at once. There's already a plan in place to deal with possible issues, but I also don't intend to be a strict disciplinarian, except of course, in cases involving only the most heinous of offenders.
Well, fellas, lock up your daughters and lock up your pets. Here comes one of the most heinous offenders on the planet. Good old Too Short Papa himself.
I know you wear it around back then, Johnny, but this is like a flashback to almost any Snarl show from 10 years ago. So deep, so entrenched is the hatred between Matt Clark and Too Short Popeye Scott.
Well, there he is, the former champ, the beast with no fangs. I just wanted to see you for myself. Clark, I hope I brought a big enough thermos for all those redneck tears.
Oh hey, hi Scott. Glad to see that true to form. You're here to try and ruin yet another milestone show? Well, no, not even you, Too Short, can harsh my buzz this glorious day.
Huh? Well, Randy Savage left you defeated and humiliated at your last match.
We wrestled to a draw. And who said that was my last match? That was a stupid idea you put into people's heads.
But, your career is over, you failed. No, it's not, and no, I didn't. You were supposed to be torn apart. When the leader of the Wolf Pack gets too old and misses his first kill, the pack turns on him.
We're not wolves, you imbecile.
But you agree that your career isn't over.
I never, ever said that it was.
Well, see, then it's not too late for me to help. I'm doing this for you, kid. I'm doing utterly for your fans. Fans that want to see American Supreme in action, competing for the World Heavyweight Championship again. Excuse me, I mean, you're right. You did wrestle Savage to a draw, and you survived 19 other opponents after drawing number 2 in the Memphis Million. Man, what are you saying? I'm saying our WL isn't ready for a world with no American Supreme, and you know it yourself, Clark. You want to be in this ring competing with the best wrestlers we've got, and that's who the fans want to see. Not some former champion turned corporate yes man in a coach's clown costume. You hear yourself. Oh, Colin says I can wear this. Oh, Colin says I can do whatever I want. I may not like who you were, but I respect him way more than what you've turned into, Clark. I want to help. What are you driving at, son? I'm saying, drop this GM thing and get back into your boots, kid. I'll even negotiate my own terms with Colin. I mean, yeah, it's a little extra responsibility and all, but it's worth it. So you can live your dreams, Maddie.
Right off the bat, I will beat you to a pulp if you ever in your life call me Maddie ever again. Second, so I can live my dream. Son, that was the single biggest pile of horse crap you've ever put out. And you've put out some steaming piles, and so the real truth of this comes out. You just want me back in the ring, so you can weasel your way into the GM spot here. Well, that don't surprise me a bunch, Scott. But don't act like you're doing me some kind of huge favor here, because this planet knows you're full of it.
You gotta make me use legal means to get you out of that job, because I can protest your appointment formally for the GM slot. Matt, you're a wrestler. You ain't got the head for strategic thought. I don't like that the brass has given Hercules rage either, but at least that muscle head has some kind of experience running a show day to day, but not you. I'm pretty sure I can get O'Toole to see it my way. See, I'm just more qualified to do this than you are.
Oh, Scott, you've done it now. Now, you gone and done it. I must now prove you wrong and shame you in front of all of Philadelphia. I must now recite the litany, the what, the long list of your sins and many failings. You'll have to remain silent for several minutes while I run this down. Let's see. On March 30th, 2013, you had your manager hire a job guy who was paid to be pinned. Does the name Johnny Sunray ring any bells? September 19th, 2015, at your Florida Fleshpot Supercard, a card that you were completely in charge of. You had commentator Christy Ogilvy arrested for speaking out against you, and the card ended with you under investigation when a large amount of the gate money went missing. There are no less than 9 complaints from female RWL employees regarding your oily-as conduct around them. In 2014, you threatened Crystal Gabor's mother with a straight razor at the 2015 Brooklyn Beach Brawl, another card entirely supervised by you. You ordered Hulk Hogan and the NWO shaved my fiancée Crystal's head. You punched the guest of honor, Sheamus O'Toole, at the Snarl 20th anniversary show. And the list of men and women who have quit your stable is really long. Deep breath here first. Anna Young, Sexy Star, Mike Stanhope, Candy Kane, Ashley Renee, Allison Kinsey, Amanda Power, Warlord Santos, Scott Steiner, Randy Savage, X-Pac, Hulk Hogan, Brandy Knox, Jody Porritt, Sandra, Dempsey, the Maximo Brothers. Remember, they left after 2 weeks to open a wrestling school. Fancy Dan Logan, Faye Crawford, Rod Whitley, Joseph Von Schmidt, Sheep Ollie Ben Schemer, and your ex-wife, Katrina Ocean. These are the many reasons you will never manage anything but Southwest Division.
Well, I see the O'Toole family is still protecting their favorites even after all these years. Well, I'll fight it in court. I'll fight it and win. I'll beat you on this one if it take me all year.
Adrastroya hi hiya, cool story bro. You go right on ahead and do that, son. In the meantime, I like my new job, with its almost limitless power, and I intend to keep it. So, if you're planning on staying around my show, Scott, better resign yourself to some real rough times, because I just became your worst nightmare. I became your boss, with all the power you ever had as commissioner, and it's eating you up alive inside, just like a tapeworm, ain't it, Scott? Just eating away at your nerve endings. You came to see me suffering. Is that a tear in your eye? To short, well, if you'll excuse me, I've got a 2-hour national show that needs managing. In general, to wit, me, and to short. I suggest you watch your ass, because your ass, it's being watched. Later, stay out of trouble. Monkey fart.
Jumpin' catfish guys. Matt Clark just done told Too Short Popeye off to a T. That was beautiful. I hope it was recorded at home.
And the new Snarl GM walks out of here like a boss. Scott's boss, to be exact. Tex.
That ain't what I said at all, Johnny. I just said you guys are gonna have to find somebody as good as me to fill in this here spot. But since there ain't nobody as good as me right now, I'm it.
Well, gents, it's time to hear from Rage's brand new general manager, Mr. Hercules himself, Steve Groves, who is starting off the program tonight.
Hello, Hershey PA. Welcome to the first Rage of the new year, and a new era. Some of you know, the last Memphis Million was my last, after over 25 years. It's time for me to hang up the old singles. I'm still gonna compete a few times a year, but I'm out of the championship collecting business. But now, Colin appointed me GM here. So I'm gonna give you folks a quick overview of what I've got planned for Rage this year. Everyone here has been telling you, this isn't a brand split between Snarl and Rage, and truly, it really isn't. But, one of my very first problems is that I am, by nature, a jealous man. True, the top brass in the company have given Matt Clark and I these very important responsibilities to see to daily, but Hawaii's Matt Show got their own dedicated championships, while mine, the newer of the two shows, does not. Hardly seemed fair to me. And so, I have sent our finest belt smithing company an order for 2. The Rage TV Championship and the Rage Tag Team titles will arrive next week, and we are gonna spend a little of our new year finding them new owners. Yes, people, Rage is going to be engaging in some seriously exciting tournaments to find ourselves the champions we'll need to complement those belts. There will be more about that once we've got those belts delivered. Here at Rage, there's gonna be really only one rule, and it's that I make them all. I'm going to be running Rage the same way Colin's dad Sheamus ran RWL since I got here way back in '98. It's a business model I understand, and I know it works. Now, before I close here, a quick word to the talent. If you're booked on Rage, you need to be here. And if you aren't, then you don't need to be here. I've seen the belt councils in the building, supposedly visiting their old crony crone, Candy Kane, Trouble is, I don't see the Bell Council's names listed on the match board tonight. I've abused my power by rewriting the entire board and fixing that for you. See, at my show, if you're here, you work, you do not come to rage to visit, gossip, loiter, or eat catering. I did have American powers set to wrestle to new gals, but I dunno. I was thinking about what you witches did after the match with AP at Snarl. In Danielle's hometown? Ladies, that's rude. So, tonight, you folks will see a 6-woman tag in our main event, showcasing the fabulous Bell Council as they wage war with American powers and their GM-appointed partner. Are you ready for this, people? Patriotic Pam Parsons. So remember, friends, if you're not booked, don't bother to show up unless you're willing to volunteer as a standby. Why do I do this? Because that's entertainment, friends. And that's my new job. Thanks for listening. I'm gonna go to the back and relax. Please enjoy the show, and I'll be right back here. Same time next week about the new belts. See you.
How about that, fellas? That's why Hercules is the GOAT. New championships, upcoming tournaments, and no loitering. Oh boy, that's a 6-woman tag I'm looking forward to. How about you guys?
I think I'm gonna like the Hercules administration.
Joining me at this time is Classy Freddie Blassie, manager of Don Baracco, Mid-Atlantic champion. And he certainly seems deeply
listen
upset
here,
for
Big
some
Jackson.
reason.
I got something to say, and I'm gonna...
Now,
Don't interrupt me! Don't interrupt me, you geek, you! Now listen, I'm filing a formal complaint with the match committee. This match with Don Morocco and Paul Orndorff shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen tonight. It should happen at a later date. I keep telling the match committee this, but these idiots don't listen. And now they want to insist on having this match here tonight. A title match on this lousy rinky-dink TV show. Are you kidding me? I told them, save it for a national match. Save it for a national card. Nobody wants to listen. But I'm doing this under protest. And so help me, I guarantee you, if Warndorf wins, we're going to complain.
While you're certainly free to file whatever complaints you want, you're expected to have Morocco ready at bell time. Thank you very much, Mr. Blassie. Now, let's take it back to ringside.
Crystal the Pistol, in the house. We haven't seen her or Faye Crawford since their loss to American Powers at Snarl Week before last. Wonder what's on Crystal Gabor's brain. Wally.
No doubt, American Powers has been heavily on the minds of Crystal Fox Limited. Let's see what she's got to say about it all.
She won't be happy. I see a few. You tapped out. Signs in the crowd.
Okay, Faye and I took a week off, and I've been really thinking things over since I was the one who tapped out and cost us our match at Snarl week before last. Am I mad about it? Some would be, but that's not me. You can't expect to stay on a permanent win streak, no matter how bad you might want it. But that said, I do, however, feel the need to, at least, kind of clear the air between me and Danielle Heathcote. Calm down. Now, it's not what you think. Again, some gals will come out here and call someone out, itching for a fight. But again, that's not me. I just want to talk reason to Miss Danielle. You folks wouldn't mind seeing that, would you?
Well, Miss Gabor, ask and you shall receive.
Looks like Crystal is going to get her visit with the Joyce Grable Memorial Tournament champion. Because here comes Danielle Heathcote, one half of American Powers.
Man, look at Crystal. She's positively seething. I don't know how she plans on keeping her composure here.
Maybe she's not planning on it at all. This could get explosive in a hurry, Johnny.
Crystal waiting patiently for Danielle, who seems to be taking her sweet time about things.
Man, no man alive. Tension so thick you could cut it with a chainsaw.
Yeah, hi Crystal. Nice to see you again. Sorry it took a minute, but I wanted to, put on some clothes before I came out here.
Funny, very funny. Look, I just wanted to talk to you, because Will, you remind me a lot of myself when I was starting out around here, and...
Really? Well, that's just fascinating, Crystal, but I kinda wish you would just make your point here, so we can all move on.
Oh, baby. Shots fired.
Alright, I can see now that there's just no reaching you, Danielle. It is what it is, and you're gonna do whatever. But just let me give you this one piece of good advice. Be more like your partner, take your wins without making a lot of noise, and a lot of needless waves, before you really piss someone off around here.
And while that's real noble of you, I am a whole, grown-ass woman, and I will do what I please around here, and right now? It would please me a whole bunch for Patty and me to shut you and Fake Crawford up by taking those tag titles from you.
Well, Crystal didn't like that one bit.
The only real thing you should be worried about is that I did make you tap, and that I could very easily do it again.
No, she didn't.
You know what? Black Friday is coming up in a few weeks, and I think Faye and me are gonna talk about a title match with you two. Once the Angels of Anarchy have softened you and Patty up a bit first. I mean, yeah, the Hardcore Sisters aren't seeing you two as the Genshiest either. Yes, you're just winning hearts and minds all over the place, aren't you?
And hey, maybe, just maybe mind you, you should take your own good advice and stay quiet about me. Before I decide, I'd make that Women's International title look better than you do. Have a nice evening, Miss Gabor.
Boy Wally, round up the kids, make for the station wagon, and get out of town. Do you suppose Crystal Fox Limited will give American Powers a title match? Just like that?
I suspect Crystal's ego is not her amigo on this one. Here's hoping the ladies' tag champions haven't shot themselves in the foot here.
That's a wrap on intermission. Let's move forward with the second hour.
All right, we have ourselves a short break before the next match begins. And ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged indeed to be spending it with two ladies who, quite honestly, have astounded everyone in RWL. I would like to welcome Miss Patty Powers, who we will see later in singles action, in a non-title match with Tamina Snuka, and via remote in nearby Philadelphia, Liberty Bell. Danielle Heathcote, American Powers, with a laundry list of gold, and we'll get into all that. But ladies, welcome, and of course, congratulations on a banner year, Patty. Your opening thoughts, please.
Hey, everyone. Happy New Year to all y'all. Alright, well I came on the scene around here just about a year ago, wrestling singles matches, trying to build up towards advancement, and yeah, I was doing great, and I was working my way up, but then, O'Toole says, he needed, whatever it was, a tag team to compete in a match. But I asked him to give me a few days to work on finding a partner, and he gave me the time I needed. And here's the part where my phone rings and Pat says I need a tag team partner for this show, and I'm like, sure, where is it? All you know, hop in the car, and get there. And Pat gets real quiet a second and says, no, your plane ticket to New Zealand is at the airport, and you have to leave tomorrow morning. I asked if she's joking. Well, turns out she wasn't, was she? I told her no, you cannot drive to New Zealand.
That was September last year, when American Powers made their RWL debut, and the debut of you, Danielle, in your first RWL matchup against the Bell Council, and for months later, your Joyce, Grable Tournament Champion and one half of the Women's Tag Champions, and you've capped it all off with the Women's International title in that insane no-rules match with Crystal Gabor. My goodness. Danielle, how does it all feel?
Right now, Wally, it feels very sore. Those kendo sticks are nasty to get tagged with. But no, the Women's Triple Crown, Rookie of the Year, Tag Champions with Pat's there. I mean, all that's really missing is the trip to Disney World.
Patty, briefly, sorry about the loss to Asuka at Memphis. Yuta came so very close to double triple crowns, but Asuka was just overwhelming that night. I'm sure a rematch is in the works.
There's gonna be a lot going on this year, but that's what happens when you have so many titles that need defending. I'm sure Asuka and I are gonna bang heads again soon. That's in front of the match committee now, and I don't see them saying no to the rematch. But right now, Wally, I want the Bell Council in a rematch at Snarl with AP.
Then it's a lock that we'll see Powers, Asuka the second round, and the rematch with Bell Council. But let's take a look back at the tale of the briefcase that led to at least one Triple Crown at Memphis Million. A little over a week left before it expires. We're gonna learn for sure what Danielle intends to do with it.
Good evening, fans. Just wanted to take a second to thank Patty for that briefcase. I'm asking for a Women's International Championship match with Crystal Gabor, and I'd like to do it at the Memphis Million next week. So, I'll be in touch very soon.
Nelly, she didn't waste any time.
Hey, Crystal, got a minute? I'm kind of hoping that you and I can give the fans a match they won't forget. A title match between us would be epic. I hope we bring the house down.
You just screwed up, Large. Watch your back, keep out. That's all.
Fact is, if we do this, it's gonna get us into trouble with O'Toole. I don't think this is the best way to handle your Danielle problem.
Yeah, well, if you got a better idea.
Actually, yes, I do.
So, you want to give them a show at Memphis Million? Y'all want to be a Triple Crown champ at my expense? Y'all want to bring the house down, do you? So let me ask you, ever had your head bounced off an announce table? Ever been whacked in the back of the skull with a steel chair? Well, I have. And if you want to take the international belt from me, it's not gonna come cheap. I'm asking for a no-rules match.
She's given me till Monday to make up my mind. I really want that title, but a no-rules match. I've never been in one.
But you're gonna have tough matches here, whether you want them or not. If it were me, I'd go for it.
So I've made up my mind. I'll be in Memphis Friday for our 2 out of 3 falls no-rules title match, because I do want to bring the house down. And Crystal, you had damn better show up. I'll see you Friday night in Memphis. Honey.
And so Liberty Bell Danielle not only sees Crystal's no-rules match, but raises the stakes again to a 2 out of 3 fall match. I'm stunned by this wicked little turn. That briefcase, a gift from Patty, turned out to be the key that unlocked your international championship no rules match. One of the most violent matches we got on the books, but you cashed in the briefcase and said to the match committee, "I'm ready." That took yards of guts.
It right there, stepping into the ring. I don't mind telling you, I was scared out of my mind. How bad would it hurt? How hard was Crystal gonna go on me? Would I win? And if I lost, would I even ever wrestle again? What did I get myself into? All this stuff was going on in my mind in just seconds. I'm not kidding when I say my brain was on autopilot until the bell rang to start the match. Truth be told, I couldn't hardly watch this one. I kinda did it with my hands over my face, almost wishing I had never given Tex Lynch the money for that briefcase. Like, every hit and every slam you took was gonna be my fault. Don't blame yourself, Pats. It all worked out at the end, didn't it?
And there are plenty of hits and slams trades back and forth between you and Crystal. How dialed up was she from your previous encounters, like the tag titles match at Black Friday?
Yikes, she was a wildcat on amphetamines. When she decided to actually wrestle, she was a lot more aggressive than before, and once she got her hands on a weapon like one of those kendo sticks, I knew I was in some deep dish Kim Cheese Wally.
You did take some critical hits up to this point, and that last slam from Gabor had to be devastating.
I was scared out of my mind for her right here. She looked so out of it. I couldn't barely move, I could hardly think past the pain, and it was getting harder and harder to even breathe in a good deep breath.
You said in the post-match interview you were just using the weapons, hoping to slow Crystal down. Is that right?
Slow her down, that's right. I chose every word very carefully. See for yourself, there was no stopping her short of really hurting her badly, so I was using the stuff around the ring defensively, because all I could hope for was to maybe slow her down a bit, so I could get an upper hand on the situation, but I gotta respect Gabor, because she's tough. She was tough to handle in the tag title match at Black Friday too. That girl doesn't fool around, she can hurt you if she takes it into her head to do it. Yeah, she is. Between her and Faye Crawford, I think Crystal is the true badass of that team. Faye is a real deal striker, but Crystal is on another level, which is how she stayed women's international champion so long. Alright, looking at the clock, we've already been beating each other senseless for almost 12 minutes. I'm hurting so bad, I can hardly see straight, and I'm thinking, I know I've hurt her bad too. Now I gotta get her back in the ring and finish this up because I had just about run out of steam. My right shoulder was feeling blown, and I could not trust my legs to hold me up for too much longer, so I was just thinking, go for the pin as soon as you can. But it was right about here I changed my mind and thought I want to stretch her a little more before I try for the pin. Turned out a great choice, because she passed out, and the referee stopped the match for the first fall.
I didn't think she would ever pass out, but no submissions for this match.
So right there I knew I had her, or I hoped I did, so I went for the sleeper, and the referee says she can't continue, and called for the bell. Crystal literally dropped out of my arms because I couldn't believe it was even over. It didn't click for me, I just got 2 back-to-back falls, and I just won the women's international title, and it's kind of all just a blur from there till I left the arena. What a night it was, you too. And at the Memphis Million, biggest show of the year, and I'm a triple crowner, and I'm tag champs with the greatest partner of just all times.
Hey, I think you're pretty badass yourself.
Alright, let's not reminisce any longer. What's the future hold for American Powers going into the new year? A bit from each of you before we have to wrap up, please.
But we just want a chance to even the score with a clean win over the Bell Council. Me and Pats, we hear things, and we've heard some nasty stories about those girls. American Powers is going to do whatever we have to, so people like them know to leave people like us alone.
Alright fans, there you have it. Parting words from our very special guests, American Powers, who can look forward to a year filled with exciting opportunities for competitive action in RWL. Ladies, thanks so much for joining us. Danielle, heal up well before Saturday night. Once again, American Powers.
Thanks, Mr. Cardill.
And thank you, Patty Powers.
Thanks for the time, Wally. And don't worry, I'll take care of Tamina.
What a couple of incredible competitors those two are. And fans will be back with more in a moment.
What could this be about? Look at that. She means business. Let's see what she has to say.
Crystal Gabor, one half of the Ladies World Tag Champions, and she wouldn't be out here if it wasn't important. So let's see what's on Crystal's mind here.
Hey, hi everybody. How's Greensboro doing tonight? Well, for those of you who don't know, the partnership between me and Faye Crawford, I'll be honest, no one thought we'd get along as a team, that our egos were gonna clash, all that noise, right? Well, fast forward a couple of months, and here we are, still a team, and Women's World Tag Champions. So, I thought, no, you know what, Fox, would you come on out here a minute, please? I don't want to do this alone.
And here comes the Fairfield Fox. And now, Crystal really has us scratching our heads. What could this possibly be about? Has this partnership gone south?
Wonder what this is about. Man, it's on now. This crowd obviously wants to know what's going on.
Hey, Chris. So, what's this all about here? You're right and all. About all the haters and the naysayers talking all that smack about us not lasting. But, there's gotta be more, isn't there?
Look, bestie, there's a problem. But it isn't us, Faye. No, you and me, we've done it all. Haven't we? We've lost our hair to the Bell Council. And come back even better. We've survived this partnership, despite all the pessimism. And we are on the very top of the pile in the ladies division. And, hey, you've got Tommy Wilcox. And I've got my Maddie Supreme. You could say we are the peak of this mountain. But there's a problem that you and I will have to address.
Definitely a fan favorite.
Chris, you know how I hate suspense, so let me stop you right here. Our problem, as you call it, isn't us. Yeah, I know that. Our problem is a certain small, irritating voice backstage. Be a pal, bestie, and give out with some quotes.
It's all over
Loud
social
and
media,
proud.
isn't it? A lot of idle bragging about being part of the greatest tag team in RWL. A lot more noise on Facebook and YouTube about how this team is coming for Crystal Fox Limited and how they are gonna be women's tag champs. Ring any bells, Foxy?
Lots of bells.
Definitely
Chris,
a fan favorite.
Isn't it crazy how some gals get here, snag themselves a singles title or two after a couple months, and just like that, they want to roll with veteran stars like us, with years behind them. Yeah, American Power sure has been making a lot of noise, haven't they?
That they have.
We might be
Foxy.
seeing a new alliance
Now,
form.
I don't know about you, Faye, but I think we should give Danielle and Patty a little taste of what it's like up where we are. I say, we ask Mr. O'Toole for a non-title match with our noisy newcomers at Snarl this Saturday night. Let's show them not to screw with the Eagles if they don't know how to fly.
To the
If
office!
that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. That was top-notch right there.
Oh, Suki,
WWE
if
Universe is
American
behind that
Powers really
statement.
has been looking to get the attention of Crystal Fox Limited, it looks like they got their wish. And we may see the two teams clash in a non-title match at Snarl this Saturday. More on this story as it develops. And we will return with the second hour of tonight's card right after this.